Hello, and welcome to Architectural Drafting and Design. Today we'll be talking about Chapter 1, Professional Architectural Careers, Office Practices, and Opportunities. I will be reading this PowerPoint and also providing some commentary on some things that I've noticed. And so let's begin. Architecture drafting and design needs satisfies many interests. Those of you who are good at theoretical problem solving, artistic creations, and creating something practical while working with your hands, this is the perfect profession for you to go into. You can achieve your goals in less than 2 years if you go for the associates, which will put you in place to be a CAD drafter or a CAD technician. You can become a designer, or if you go for your BA, you can become the architect, engineer, or an interior designer. A good place to start. The drafter, this person creates drawings and details for another person's creations. It requires attention to detail and the ability to learn. Most persons going into the technical drawing field work under someone else who can oversee and give oversight to their drawings, and we all learn from this. I wanted to mention that our program at UVU has a certificate of proficiency in architectural design technology. A certificate is a good thing to have when you are out job hunting. So I'll mention that here. Most of these courses, as you can see, are already in part of your programs, and you may need only to slide over to pick up one or two as an elective to complete the certificate. Different terms are used to describe the profession. So when you Google or Indeed jobs, the drafter, you may put in drafter, CAD drafter, Revit technician, or design. The beginning drafter, it consists of correcting drawings as mentioned, and it also requires that you learn national CAD standards. With this job and associates, you can make construction design decisions if you're good, if you are become more trusted and reliable in your drawings, and you may also go to work with city and state building departments. A familiarity with two-dimensional, which is not dead yet, and actually it's still probably the most popular way of creating drawings, and 3D software, which is more new and offers more ability to render and to show more of the product. Educational requirements are basically those that the university has put up, which is math, science, English, public speaking, art photography, and internet research. Personal requirements also are that you become a good team member. You have to work well in group settings. You have to be reliable. You have to know how to be your own time manager, and you need team leadership skills. Workplace ethics and employment opportunities abound for different kinds of drafters. States restrict the use of the term designer. So architectural designer, you have to look at the state, but in most states, you can call yourself a designer after a 4-year degree. If you want to be an architect or engineer, you do have to get certified. Interior decorator also decorates building interiors. I think there's a step below the interior designer. They carry out the same functions as the drafter. You can specialize in kitchen and bath design. This is very popular because kitchens and baths are so specialized and such a marketing commodity that you may just specialize in that and do very well. Interior designer is offered in the art department. You can also get the same kind of credentials as you would for the architect, knowing interior works on interiors, architect works on the whole package. our goal here at school is if you want to go beyond the technician, you can become an architect. And architects have rank and file. You work your way up from the this is actually flipped. See how it starts with technical staff, intern, architect 1 and 2, and then you go downwards. On this particular slide, the further down you go, the more responsibilities and the more business day-to-day operations are in your wheelhouse. It does require a bachelor's degree. Some of the things that you'll focus on are this elevation drawing. We'll slide in this picture of the different kinds of things that you'll work on. The engineer is a close ally. The engineer does mostly structural details, the electrical, mechanical, and civil. Their work compromises of work on the landscape and all the things that are going into services. You can see this is a typical land plat. It is a grading plan on how they want to set the soil, the landscape, in order to put this pad in that will contain a house. What you might see when you buy a house is you might get this little data sheet that shows you your property boundary. It's a property boundary line. Also center lines. So it's important to know what the symbols mean, and that's part of our job adding in our drafting for this semester. Engineering is in another department. Those are also available to you. They are related fields. You can just take some of the knowledge and you can break out into a couple of these other kinds of jobs. One of the most successful ones is probably specification writing. Not everybody wants to do it, but it's very needed in all of these. And design basics. So there are financial considerations. The design really depends on the client, and it depends on how much money is available to create your dreams. So you need to be versed in a variety of different budget design, but also affluent design. The client, our most important benefactor, is the client. Most houses are spec houses built for the masses, but you can still find work designing someone's dream home. These are the way you would proceed. You would make contact with the client. You would show preliminary design studies. You would lay out rooms, and then you would start your first working drawings to get feedback, and then final design considerations. These stages are the completion of working drawings, permit procedures, and job supervision to get it done. That spills into construction management. Here is a very detailed sketch, actually the blueprint of all the different things taking place in this house, and we're going to learn some of the symbols as we go along. We don't already know them, and a bit highly complicated two-dimensional drafting. Our section sheets are also reveal a lot of structural details. Here we have the footings and how this whole wall section is going to look and what kind of trusses we're going to use, and all the callouts that pertain to this particular section cut. We also have, as our backup, we're going to take a lot of the things that are called out in this plan, these little symbols we're going to learn about, translate to a ledger, which shows you can look up exactly what it is that you're seeking. So if we go closely, we can see that a symbol A next to a window will mean that we are going to use this particular size of window, but type what should even be what vendor, and that continues for all the windows and all the doors. And finally, we'll close out with this, knowing that this is a superimposed different blueprint showing the roof line on it. Usually that's separate, but for some reason they're showing everything to you. But that just reinforces to you that it's complicated, and we'll be going through step by step to learn the business of design, drafting, architecture.